And during your time as trustee, what do you consider the major accomplishment of the Plain trustees?
Well, hands down, it's what's going on right now. It's the economic revitalization of the venue up on the corner of Whipple and Everhard that is fully occupied out to something I know my predecessor, Mr. Giovassis, had always pushed for, was trying to get something done with Oakwood Square Plaza. And ironically, Trustee John Sabo Alino and myself have been able to get something done over there. It's actually in process. The Giltz's Harry and Grant Giltz have secured the plaza. They're looking to invest $5.5 million in it. That's why we work through the county commissioner's office to get a 50% 10-year or 12-year tax abatement on that, so we can get that, you know, as a catalyst in the area, because we know for a fact with all the residential build out that's happened in that area and scarce traffic data that a basic needs type plaza can be supported there. So those are the pain points primarily of our residents. I would tell you secondarily, the ability to properly and timely ramp up additional safety services. Our residents entrusted us with some additional levy funds. I think going back almost a year and a half for fire, we've fully met that commitment and obligation that we promised the residents. And more recently, the sheriff's levy, that was a renewal and an increase, which is going to allow us to add on 8 bodies, of which we're 6 out of the 8 bodies filled, not even 7 months out from receiving our initial funds. We should have the final 2 in place by October based upon guidance that Sheriff Myers provided. So enhancing the overall security, you know, bringing business in, helping improve that tax base, which ultimately, you know, helps fund operations and so forth, I would say are our biggest successes.
So the contracting by Plain Township trustees with the Stark County Sheriff has been a good fit?
Oh, it's hands down the best way to go. I don't know why more communities don't go with it. We essentially, with our new contract for 22 bodies, plus all of our dispatching being centralized out there, both fire and police, we spend approximately $2.9 million annually now with the sheriff. And I mean, if you take a look at comparable communities, you know, Jackson Township, I'm doing it on a per capita basis, even though they've got some different elements from the retail business side that really affects some of their numbers. If you even go out to like Boardman Township and Mahoning, which tends to be a good benchmark for us, to even comparing back locally to North Canton, our cost per capita is unparalleled. And we've had some amazing collaboration through the sheriff's office, where we actually have created some substations to make it more convenient for our residents to as well. We actually housed the Northeast Ohio Violent Fugitive Task Force, which is a collaboration of the U.S. Marshal, DEA, ATF, SWAT, and FBI to not just benefit Plain Township, but greater Stark County in helping reduce the crime.
Did Plain Township ever have its own police function?
No, not that I'm ever aware of. It's always been contracted with the sheriff. We pay for the bodies, and then the cruisers that our residents or even visitors see on the streets of, say, Plain Township, we actually own those.
Right. So one of the problems, to probably be fair to the other townships that pay substantially more, is that once you have a police department, it's going to be awfully difficult to convince the public that you ought to go the way, even though it's much more cost effective.
Oh, absolutely, because once you have something that's under your control, trying to entrust an additional entity to control that,
right,
it's just something that's tough to give up. And I think we see some of those parallels in, you know, the evolution of centralized dispatch with 911 and so forth, where there was so many turf wars, and we're really seeing through the Skog conversations and so forth, really a new approach and a changing of mindset, though there's probably still some work to do. So similar in that nature, I would say.